Hello guys, guess who is back? Yeah, I trust you're all doing good. I've been busy with some other things that needed my full attention. But now, Pictorial Innovations is fully back and I'll be uploading graphic design content for both PC and smartphone users. If you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell to be notified anytime I upload new videos. So today guys, we designed this flyer together using Photoshop. But the good thing is that you can follow the process in this video and creatively use it in any other graphic design software or app. Make sure you watch till the end because this video is an extract from a live session I had recently with some set of students. So it's a real-time process and I'm sure you will learn one or two. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Let's create new document. Go to File, New. So this is the interface. So you can choose any presets. You can change the size to any value you want, like 3000 by 3000, anything you like. But I usually use 3000 by 3000 pixels. So you leave the resolution at 300, then you create. So I'll bring my image now. Here's my image. Let's scale this. So you can scale from here, you can scale from anywhere. Just make sure this is checked. You see this guy here? Just make sure it's checked, because if it's not checked, if you are scaling, you have something like this. So, and you don't want to distort the image. So just make sure it's checked. Then you can scale. You can scale like this. So what happened to this part? I want us to fill this part so you get this particular place. So first of all, I will rasterize the image. I want to turn it to a rasterized layer. So I'm rasterizing it. I've rasterized it. Then I'll go to my marquee tool. Then I will choose rectangle marquee tool so that I can select this empty area here. So after that, still on this layer, I will right click, then choose content aware fill, because I want to fill the blank space with the original image. So we have something like this. So you can now Ctrl D to deselect. So this is the layer for the fill and this is the original layer. So you can match them together by click Ctrl to select the upper one, then Ctrl E to match them together. So we have our image now. So what next? I need to convert it to smart objects so that anything I work on it, I'll be able to adjust it later on. I've converted it to a smart object, so I want to tweak the color a bit. So I'll go to filter, camera filter. So here in camera filter, don't mind these edges here. This is the part we made. So let me just zoom in a bit. So let me just do the basic things here depending on the image you are using. So I want to use this. I'm increasing the temperature a bit, tint it a bit. Let me reduce the contrast too much. So you can check with the slider. You can slide forward or backward to see what works for you. So depending on your image. So I'll quickly do it. There's another video on camera raw filter. I'll drop the link below. So I have something like this. Let's write our text. What should we write? Let's write shawarma. Shawarma. Click OK when you're done. So I need to change the color. The font I'm using is Bibas here. So I want to change the color to white. Don't worry, it's not that visible, the contrast is not much, but we'll correct it later. So I'm using, let me increase the size, let me scale it. Ctrl T to scale, click on it and Ctrl T to scale. I think I should move it up a bit, then duplicate it. So I'm holding Alt. If you want to duplicate without having to press Ctrl J or going to edit and all those things, you can just hold Alt, click and drag to duplicate. So I duplicated it like this. I duplicated again like this. So I have something like this. But I want to make sure these two are behind this shawarma. What do I do? So I just go back to my layer here. I'm holding Ctrl to select 3, then I press Ctrl G to group it. So I go to the shawarma layer, then I go to select subject. I want it to select the shawarma so that I will use it to create a layer mask on my shawarma. So go back to the shawarma layer, hold Alt and click this guy. This is the layer mask. You add layer mask like this. So you can see this edge is not that neat. So click on this layer mask just created, go to filter, order and maximum. You choose the maximum, then you can increase the radius. So when you increase the radius, you have something like this. I think this is better. Yeah, this is better. So this shawarma, these two shawarma, I want to fade it out. So they are all in the group together, but I'm selecting the copy 2 and the copy. I'm doing what? I'm grouping it again. So I will now create another layer mask. This time don't hold Alt, just create the layer mask. Then go to gradient. You can press G or you can come here, gradient 2. Make sure your foreground is black and your background is white. Then you can now click and drag like this. So you can hide this. So we have this. So we need to introduce some contrast to this flyer. How do we do that? So under this group, you can click here and create another layer. Now let's go to brush. You can press B to bring your brush or come here. This is the brush tool. So change the color to something like this. I'm picking a color from here. Then you can brush like this. It's on the image, but I want it to blend. How do you change the blending mode? You can change the blend mode to whatever works for you, but in this video I'll choose overlay. So we need to make this overlay go behind our image. So click on the layer mask, then hold Alt and drag to this layer here. That means I copied it. Can you now see? It's behind this thing. So even if I duplicate it, can you see? Even if I duplicate it, it will still be behind the image. So I have it duplicated. No, let me go back. Okay, how do you? I think it's making sense like this. Now I will click this shawarma text to add shadow to it. Right click on the shawarma text layer, then go to blending option. In blending option, go to drop shadow. You check it, then you click on it. Then you can play with the slider and see what works for you. Let me bring it down a bit. Don't worry, we still bring this thing up. So let me increase the size, the spread, and decrease the distance a bit, or increase it. So I have it here. So I want to move it up so that the shadow can cast on the one below. So that I can cast on the one below. Let me go back to this thing, to the drop shadow. I want to reduce the opacity and increase the radius. So I have this shawarma here. So I want it to tune down a bit. So I'll just go to my adjustment layer, add brightness and contrast. Then I can just press auto. It will correct it automatically. Can you now see the difference? I see the difference. So now we have the shawarma, and it's well, because I added the contrast, it is now coming out. It is coming out bit by bit. So let me just group this so that we can have a clean layer. Now let's add a bit, pattern effect or something like that. How do we do that? Let's just create a text. Let's write something like shawarma. But this time around, we will change the font. I'm changing the font to orthographia. So that's the pronunciation. Yeah, orthographia. So you can select the black one so that you can have a thick one. I have it in the link below, so you can download it if you want. So you can now increase the size. You increase it massively so that we have something like this. You have something like this. Then you can change the blending mode from here. Can you see? And choose anyone that is okay. So for me, I'll go for either overlay or soft light, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's just go for this overlay. So I have this, so you can move it to see how best it works. So I think I'll drop one here, but reduce the opacity like maybe 75. Then Ctrl J to duplicate it. Then bring another one here. So that I can have something like this. So now let's introduce light flare. So I have this light here just to make it pop. Just to make it pop, I'll change the blending mode now. I'll change the blending mode to screen so that I have something like this. Or something like this. Now let me bring some other elements. So I have this. I just want to blur it to I want to blur it to give it a special treatment. So let me just blur it a bit. Too much. So I just want to blur it like this. Let's find a place to put it. See better here. Let me rotate it a bit. Still making sense here? Or yeah, I think A is better. Let me hold Alt and duplicate it. Let me change it like this. If you want to transform, you can just press Ctrl T. It's better here. Let me bring another paint, another element. I don't want it to be crowded though. So just blur it a bit too. So let me give it a motion blur. So I have something like this. Let me duplicate it and bring it here. So we have something like this. So the last thing I will do now is, let me group all these things together. You can click on one and hold shift to click all the elements, then group together. So you can click these two, this, and group together. So now I want to create a transparent gradient so that anything we put at this lower part of the design will come out nice. I'll go like this. So I'll click in and turn it down a bit. Turn it down a bit. You can see the color I'm choosing. I'm choosing the color from the color of the background. So click OK, click OK. So let me bring all their logos. So let's say this is their logo. So I have something like this. Let me create a rectangle to house the information I want to add here. So you can change the background to white so that we'll see. Then you can just hold Ctrl and click on the artboard to centralize and centralize from here. So we have it centralized. So let's bring this layer down so that we can have the two logos that we put in here. So let me shift it a bit. So let me click on this one and bring it down a bit. So now let's add the other information here. So remember to change the font. Let me change the font to Montserrat. Let me choose semi-bold. So then, oh, sorry. The reason why this is doing this is because we used font here. So what you do is you can just scale down. You can just scale down and come here. So just click outside the artboard. Decrease the size, change the font, and click OK. Then you can bring it back to the artboard. Then you now have it here. This is it here. So let's bring it here and change the color to 3A, 3A, 3A. I don't want to use a complete black. So what should we write? Should we just write the best me you can get? Clear can get in Lagos. Let's put it like that. I change it to base 16. Change it to 16. I still want to write something there. In Lagos. Then you can duplicate it. Write something like contact us Then you can put number is equal for let me just say la 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 la. Then have something like this. Let's decrease the size. Let's give it be something like 14 and this something like 13. So I think it's getting better. See it? It's getting better. So let's give it a contrast. Let's change it to red. You can just pick red from here. Let's pick the red from here. So you can change this one to bold because we want people to see their phone number. Let's change this one to bold and change this one to maybe something like regular. So we have something like this. Let's adjust it. No. Let me lock this. Let me lock the layer. So let's adjust this. So maybe we can create something here. Let's go to pen tool. You can just press P or come here. This is the pen tool. So the reason why this thing is not showing the pen tool is because my cap lock is on. So let me just off it. Off it. Then I can see the pen tool. So you can just create something like this. Hold Alt so that after you click here, hold Shift so that you can create another point here. So we can change the outline to like 4. Let's do 4. Change the color to this same color that we used for the text. Then we have something like this. Let's shift it a bit. Or I think let me decrease the size of the stroke. Let's do 3. So we have something like this. Let me shift this a bit. So we have something like this. You know what I did there? So I only make sure it's aligned. So we have something like this. So I want to add a bit noise to it so that it will give it a different feel. So create a new layer, hold Shift and backspace, then choose 50% gray, then click OK. Then come to filter, noise, add noise. You can choose 10, then click OK. Then go to blending mode, change it to soft light. So we have this. But I think this light flare is disturbing our image here. Let's just move it a bit, but before that, click the gradient layer and lock it first. Then click the light flare layer, then move it. Let's move it to maybe somewhere like this so that I can give it a different feeling. Then they can see our image here. So I think it's better this way. Thank you.